Yo, what is up YouTube? Back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the Tennessee Titans versus Baltimore Ravens. This game, man oh man, I've been waiting all year because Tennessee was Baltimore was the favorite, obviously, going into the AFC divisional rounds, yet Tennessee smoked them in Baltimore. And this game, once again, is in Baltimore. So is the same outcome gonna happen, or is there gonna be a different game here? So let's talk about it. Off the bat, let's talk about these two teams in general. Nothing too specific, but both of these teams started the season really nicely with nice records. Titans started 5-0, and then they lost 3 games in the last 4. Now they have a 6-3 record. They lost to the Steelers, Colts, and the Bengals. And then we look at the Ravens. They started the season 5-1. They lost to the Chiefs, the Steelers, and the Patriots. Well, look at that. That's kind of weird, isn't it? The thing that makes no sense to me is how the Ravens lose to the Patriots. The same Patriots that almost lost to the Jets. They should have lost to the Jets last week. But whatever. It was a bounce back game for the Patriots, and the Ravens just underperformed in the rain. And then we have the Titans, right? They're 5-0, and they have a close game against Pittsburgh at 5-1. But the following week, I believe they played the Bengals in Cincinnati, and they lost. You gotta wonder why. And then the following week, beat the Bears at home. And then the following week after that, the most recent game they've played, they got stomped by the Indianapolis Colts at home. So you gotta wonder why. Both of these teams have just lost to 2 teams that are probably worse. And you gotta wonder why. Maybe the Ravens and the Titans aren't better than you think they are. Maybe they're both decreasing in talent. But at the same time, we look at both of these rosters, and we got so many godlike players. Of course, the King Henry, what a monster. And then Lamar Jackson, the running back. But, he can throw. Never mind. But still, this game is going to be a good game. I say this because we saw what happened last year, and I think it's going to happen again, and this is why. We saw the Ravens' defensive line against the New England Patriots, and they got whooped. They got destroyed by the run. I guess they were forced to run the ball because it was literally pouring rain. They couldn't throw it. But you think a defensive line of the Ravens would be good enough to, stop a random running back, Damian Harris? No, they get stomped on. And I expect Derrick Henry to have a stomp-like game once again. But surely, the Ravens aren't going to make the same mistake twice in a row. Am I right or am I right? Well, unfortunately, I believe that could be the strongest outcome of the game. It was just so evident the Ravens' defensive line, their rushing defense, was struggling against a pathetic Patriots team. And with Tannehill kind of mobile, he can throw the ball. And with Derrick Henry, literally the king, what do you expect to happen to your defensive line this game? Both of these teams are coming off from a loss, and both of these teams are looking for the win. And this game is very, very important. Very important, because for the Ravens, they aren't winning the AFC North. The Steelers basically got that locked down. They got the 3-game lead over them. And the Ravens are most likely going to be a wild card team. And then we have the Titans, who lost to the Colts at home. Could be very bad. And that could mean that the Titans could also fall to the wild card, and the Colts are going to win that division. I definitely think the Ravens are going to fall to the wild card. They're not winning the AFC North. I'm 50-50 with the Titans. But if the Titans do fall to the wild card spot, it's going to be because they lost to the Colts, and that just means whoever wins this game, Ravens-Titans, is going to have better seeding in the wild card games in the playoffs. This game's also very important for Tennessee and Baltimore because if you look at the wildcard standings right now, the Raiders and the Dolphins are actually the 5th and 6th seed. The Ravens are the 7th seed, and the Titans aren't even in the picture. They're the 8th seed. So this is definitely important. I don't see the Dolphins losing too many more games. The Raiders on 50-50. But I expect both of these teams to play good the rest of the year, and this game's definitely important for seeding. So with that in mind, let's look at both of these teams. Of course, there's the Ravens. I called Lamar Jackson a running back because I'm not wrong, am I? The dude is an exceptional runner. He's one of the best. He's better than a lot of running backs, actually. He's a one-in-a-lifetime generational talent. But the Ravens' passing game is weak. It's one of the worst in the league. Marquise Brown is their number one receiver, and he is getting, like 2 targets, two receptions a game. It's kind of sad. The dude has 2 touchdowns on the year, and he's the number 1 wide receiver. I don't think any other wide receiver on that team has 2 touchdowns. And then we have Mark Andrews, the other threats in the passing game. He has been non-existent for a couple weeks. He had a decent performance against the Patriots. But when we see the Ravens play a good team, what happens is that they just cover the pass. The defense plays exceptional against Lamar Jackson's passing game. It just forces him to run the football, and it becomes too predictable, which is why Lamar Jackson has been losing games recently. Fortunately for the Ravens, the Titans have one of the worst passing defenses in the NFL. And I wouldn't say their rushing defense is good, but, it's not bad. Now, I made a video in the summer called, Are the Ravens going to win the Super Bowl? How many Super Bowls is Lamar going to win? Something like that. I don't remember the exact title. And I said, if Lamar Jackson wants to win the Super Bowl, it has to be this year. And I said that because I thought Lamar Jackson's patterns of running the football, throwing the football, juking out defenders is just going to become too predictable. And recently, I think that is starting to happen. I think defenses are starting to figure out what he's doing, and that is not good for the Ravens offense. This has definitely been the case ever since they played the Steelers, and the other teams that have played the Ravens since are piggybacking off those ideas. I'm not going to say the Titans' defensive line is elite, but we saw what happened in the AFC divisional round last year. They basically contained Lamar Jackson better than any other team has in his career, and I expect something like that to happen this week. If the Titans want to win this game, it's so simple. Just don't let Lamar throw the football. And that has not been a bright spot for the Ravens recently. And if it happens this game, the Ravens got this one in the bag. But the Titans, I don't think they're going to allow that to happen. The other side of the field, of course, we got the King versus the elite defensive line. But this defensive line played really bad against the Patriots, like I said before. And the King himself is going to look to destroy this Ravens defensive line. Only if Earl Thomas was here to get destroyed once again. But Derrick Henry, I don't think he's going to have a monstrous game like 200 yards. But I expect 100 to 150 rushing yards by the monster himself. It's really all the Titans got to do to win this game. We saw the struggles against the Patriots. I think the Titans are going to be run heavy. And if the Ravens defensive line can stop Derrick Henry, the Titans are just going to result to A.J. Brown and Corey Davis, Jonnu Smith. Their passing game is really good. Their rushing game is really good. Recently, it's not been playing the best. And I think that the Titans' offense isn't going to be a problem. At the end of everything, I believe this game is going to fall in the hands of one player, and that is Lamar Jackson. If he does not play good, the offense doesn't score. And if you don't score, then you don't win. We saw the Ravens get carried by their defense against the Colts, that turnover, and that's the only reason why they won that game. If the Ravens defense doesn't create any turnovers and Lamar Jackson doesn't throw the football, this game is over from the start. I think this game is going to be closer than it was in the AFC divisional rounds, but ultimately at the end of the day, I think the Titans are going to get the upset. I think Lamar Jackson has just become too predictable as a quarterback and as a running back. And that's ultimately why the Titans are going to upset the Ravens. All of this voodoo magic does not work against good coaches. We've seen it before. All the good coaches, Belichick, Tomlin, Andy Reid, figured out how to stop Lamar. I consider Mike Vrabel to be one of those elite coaches that can figure out an offense and stop him. We've seen it before. I think we're going to see it again. And that's why I think the Titans are going to win this game. It's going to be closer than it was before, like I said. Give me the Titans by 3 points. So that is it. I hope you don't take offense to me calling Lamar a running back. But point proven. Thanks for watching. Adios.